Hello and welcome back to the Hawkins Hellfire Collective. I'm Devin Grubb.
And I'm Zach Grubb.
And today we are going to be talking about Season 2, Episode 7, The Lost Sister. Yay!
It is the absolute worst episode of this show, to the point where it doesn't even belong.
I got a lot of problems with you people, and you're going to hear about it. I hate it so much.
It's really bad. Like, everything about it is bad. It's bad as an episode of Stranger Things. It's bad as a backdoor pilot for a new show. It's bad as, a character vehicle. Like, nothing about this works. I think there was maybe one scene in the entire episode that I thought held any weight, and it was because a character came back who hasn't been on the show since season 1.
We'll get to that. But, and we went in trying to have a clear head about this one. Because, we were trying to look at things through a different lens, trying to be open-minded, and not even 5 minutes in, and we were like, no, this isn't Stranger Things.
Yeah, from the second that 11 meets up with the crew, from that moment on, the episode is not Stranger Things.
Right. So I guess let's just dive in, if you wish. If you want, to quote our daughter.
If you want.
If you want.
So, the episode opens with 11 thinking that her mom wanted to show her 8, which I guess is what was going on. We see them again as little kids, and they're wearing, school uniforms instead of those test outfits, which makes no sense.
Yeah, they do not look like they would if they were in the flashbacks of season 4.
Right.
And according to season 4, everything that was happening in the flashbacks was after 8, quote unquote, left.
Right.
But if you watch this episode, that doesn't make sense. So
no, it kind of doesn't.
But 11 can just find people using pictures now.
We've talked about that before, and she has done it. You're actually the one who pointed that out to me.
I am?
Yeah, when she found...
I don't remember things.
Yeah, when she found people that Brenner wanted her to find because she had a picture of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the one who was like, that doesn't make sense.
Right,
You were like, wait, no, hold up.
Okay, never mind.
Still silly.
I guess I was just, I was in a bad place with this episode, so I was just gonna poop on everything.
Yeah, we tried to go in with an open mind, but we were also picking it apart constantly. So 11 stole her aunt's money and ran off because she was trying to call Hopper.
Yep.
Which I guess that explains my thoughts previously that, what happens to the aunt? Does she just disappear?
Yeah,
she does.
Because the rest of this season takes place in Hawkins.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna.
And she didn't show up in
again.
season 3.
She wasn't in season 3, and she wasn't in 4. So
no, she's gone.
11 just has some relative out there
that she's never going to talk to again because they tried to contact her dad.
Right. And this was something that I thought was funny that you pointed out, because she just gets on a bus to Illinois. She was incredibly sheltered. Even when she's living with Hopper, she's still incredibly sheltered. How does she know how to do all these things?
Right, it's not like you can just hop on a bus to Illinois. You have to buy a ticket.
You have to buy a ticket.
You have to get to a bus depot, buy a ticket, get on, your timed bus.
Know when to get off, where to get off.
Yeah. Suspend disbelief for the show, but, the way Stranger Things has asked us to suspend our disbelief in, the abnormal and the crazy,
right? Because
not in everyday stuff.
I can see people but she has powers and she's blah blah blah. Okay, but that doesn't make her knowledgeable on how to use the bus system,
public services.
It might make her knowledgeable as to, okay, when I get on the bus to Illinois, this is where I have to get off, because she knew, where.
Generally speaking, she knew where 8 was.
General, but her telekinesis is not going to be this, This is how you use the bus station. No. This is how you buy a ticket. Like,
somebody's been watching Finding Dory.
Sorry.
Did we mention we have a 2-year-old?
Yeah. Something that I noticed, it does get clarified later in the episode, but in previous episodes, when they were flashing back to them as children,
The lab, yeah.
the lab, I kind of thought that they were supposed to be the same age from the way that it made it. They were like, I guess, positioned in the room or whatever. It looked like two similarly aged children.
It did, yeah.
And then you get to 8, and 11 is this, like, 12, 13-year-old girl, and 8 is like 17. And it was a little bit jarring because I thought that they were supposed to be the same age. Later on in the episode, that does get debunked, but it was
a weird way to frame it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they were framed in such a way that it was like, oh, they're the same age. They're, maybe they were taken from their mothers at the same time, and like this is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know.
It was weird.
It was weird. Just another complaint.
Little inconsistencies, problems with the way things are being shot. The 2 little scenes we did get to see 8 and 11 together did very much look like they were around the same age. So seeing 8 be so much older is a little weird.
Yeah.
So like the idea of different kids having different powers really went out the window here. And I feel like that's wasted potential.
I was just going to say, because that would have been really interesting. Yeah. Especially with all the time that was spent with season 4, with the flashbacks, with 11 in the lab. If we were seeing those other kids have other powers, that would have been really, really interesting. Like, instead, they're all doing the same stuff. Like, it would have been cool to see somebody who had powers like 8. Somebody who had, something different. Like, it just...
And it's very funny because they decided they were going to, like, retcon that and all the kids have the same powers. So, like, why would 8 have been picked up by Brenner if she had different powers?
Right. Because she does have different powers. We didn't say what she has. She can make people see things. So she's still using... like
psychokinesis,
right, with your mind, but instead of doing moving things with her mind or like contacting people like through the mind and stuff like that, she literally goes into your mind and creates images and things that you see that aren't actually there.
So like I don't know if anybody listening has ever played Psychonauts, but in that game all the different kids at the summer camp have telekinetic abilities, and there's like a vast array of telekinetic abilities. Like there's kids who can use pyrokinesis, there's kids who can move stuff with their minds, there's kids who can make people see things, there's people who can go into your mind and like help you through your trauma. Like there is so much potential for different mind related powers. I was just say,
because side note, seeing somebody have like pyrokinesis would have been really cool.
It would have been really cool. It would have been very, very cool. So,
but I guess they would have burnt down the lab,
Brenner is a man of hubris. He would have thought that he could handle it.
Oh, they would have been collared.
You know what? I bet that plays a part in the comics that we haven't read yet that were retconned. Because that was another note here for me. I really want to read those now. Mm-hmm. There's a comic about 6, and in that comic I think she meets 8. And then there's a comic about 8. Both of these are retconned. They're no longer canon because of season 4. Originally, the Duffers said that they were, and then they basically just decided, no, they're not. We don't want to follow that anymore. So now I'm really interested in reading them because I guarantee there's kids with different powers in it. Yeah.
And that's, I mean, it's really, like, the fact that they have the powers and stuff is really cool just in general, but, like, it would have been nice to throw some variety.
Yeah.
Give us a bag of jelly beans, mixed jelly beans, not just the red ones. I don't know.
Yeah, sure, totally.
But back to the episode, 11 does hear Hopper's apology while she's in Illinois with 8 and her people, and I did like that she got to actually hear it because Hopper really meant it.
Yeah, me too.
Poor Hoppy Hops.
Poor Hopper. Oh, also, it's really jarring to see this, like, 13-year-old who looks 17 lead a gang in America and still have
13.
her British accent.
She's not 13, though.
I know.
But like,
maybe I got that backwards.
Like,
Point is...
But no, because she is a young woman. She's got to be, like, 16, 17.
It's a teenager in charge of a bunch of adults.
Like, the only other one that might be the same age is the one she says is, like, their newest recruit. The girl who's got, like, the wild hair with the headband.
Yeah.
She's maybe 18. But the other ones are all adults. Like, there's the big guy that she's like, oh, he's our the muscle.
Yeah.
But he's a really big teddy bear. He's like 30-something.
Yeah.
The guy with the mohawk is like 30-something. The other girl is
she's in her 20s, definitely.
Is in her, like, maybe, 25. Why are you paired up with this teenager?
And, like, they briefly touch on it, like, oh, she saved us. Like,
but
okay.
How did she save you?
Well, no, don't ask that question, because that's what they wanted us to ask. They wanted us to be interested, and I'm not.
And I'm not.
I am not interested. I don't want to know. I don't care. I just think it's very funny that she spent all of this time, like, growing up in America, surrounded by people, like, she's still got her British accent.
Yeah.
Like, I know accents don't always go away entirely, but they fade.
Because, and if she was that young in the lab, like, if she was she's, like, we're supposed to believe that she was also taken as a baby, correct? Or, like, a young child?
We don't know. We can't know.
But, like,
I wouldn't be surprised if her situation was more like her parents surrendered her because she was making them see crazy stuff.
Okay, well, yeah.
Maybe,
We'll
cut to the comic. We'll find out.
Even so, if you were, like, 5, I mean, you'd still have a little one.
Accent?
A little accent,
yeah.
But I don't think it would be as thick. She does teach 11 some stuff, like how to kind of harness her power.
That gets retconned in season 4.
With anger. Yeah, because it's one.
Yeah.
That, like,
in season 4, it's one who's telling her, like, you need to use, like, the tough memories, your angry memories.
And that's something that bothers me, too, because, like, I don't know.
They really want us to forget about this. They really, really want us to forget about this episode.
And then there's a lot of people who are theorizing that 8 will be back in season 5 to help defeat Vecna.
I mean, honestly, I think that's a good idea. It would be a good way to bring purpose to a character you basically ruined before even putting on the show.
But they have to fix her. They have to fix a lot about this character, in my opinion. That is my personal opinion.
Yeah.
They need to do some fixing of Callie in order to make me care.
Yeah, because we don't.
You can't bring this person who I have no connection to. You can't bring this person back into the show in its final season to help defeat this horrific character and expect me to care about them if you don't do anything.
And let's clarify here, because, like, it's not just that I don't have a connection to the character, because I know I don't, and
There's
I know you don't.
There's a lot of people who don't.
No, nobody does, because
the majority of people that you talk to.
This character was set up poorly.
Mm-hmm.
At the very beginning of the season, they set her up as this big mystery, and then they only deal with her for one episode.
Mm-hmm.
The entire episode is bad. It's not even an episode of Stranger Things. It's a completely different show.
I was just
the
going to say that.
soundtrack, the lighting, the camera work, it's all different, and it's all wrong.
Like...
There's no payoff to this character.
No, it feels like a completely different show, and it completely takes you out of the story.
Yeah,
it takes you out of the story as a whole, and it takes you out of the story of this particular season, which the last episode ended in a major way, and then it drops you here.
Yeah, this entire hour-long episode could have been whittled down to 20 minutes.
Right, like, it could have been I feel like if it was interspersed with, like, things that were happening with Hawkins, maybe might make it a little bit different. Because then it's also leaving you up to some mystery about this group of people, this particular character. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, you'll be watching something happening in Hawkins, and then you'll go to Illinois and be like, oh, okay.
Cut the scenes with Callie talking about how they're going to use 11. Cut the scenes where Callie teaches 11 to use anger, because you're going to cover that in season 4.
Mm-hmm.
Cut the scenes where they're in the freaking gas station shop and they decide that they're going to rob the place and do their supermarket sweep. Cut the scene where they're like in the car driving around. Cut the scene, shorten the scene where she's like having a heart-to-heart with 11 after finding her. Leave in the stuff with Brenner. Leave in that final escape scene because it's cool.
We're gonna get...
Leave in the ending. Like, all of this could have been whittled down significantly.
Yeah. And then I put, like, I get that the point of this part of the point of this episode is to kind of, like, let 11 kind of connect to different things about herself. However, the stuff that she is getting involved with goes completely against what we know of her as a character.
Right. And, like, there's no tension when Callie's trying to convince her to kill that dude. Like, we didn't even talk about it, but yeah, like, they're killing dudes.
Yeah, like, it's somebody that they go to find this guy who...
He's the one who lobotomized her mom.
Electroshocked her.
Yeah.
So they go to him to essentially kill him, and 11's like, well, I've killed before. But not in this way, sweetie. Like, when you did your, like, brain melty things, it was to protect people. Like, it was your friend, you were in the middle school with your friends,
and they were trying to kill
They were actively trying to kill you. They had guns pointed at you, so in order to save you and your friends, you did your little brain melty thing. Yes, this guy did horrific things to your mom, but you're not the kind of person who would actively go and seek revenge. So, like,
the point is to show that she's not that person, but I feel like that's already been established.
We already know that.
We already know that the character wouldn't do that. We know that
she's not like that. And I put here, like, the guy, well, he drops a bomb because he tells them that Brenner is still alive.
Yeah, and Callie's like, I don't believe you. And it's like, okay.
But they also find out that this guy has 2 kids. And
in the house
at the same time that they're doing this to him. And 11 refuses to kill him.
To nobody's surprise.
To nobody's surprise because of that. Because regardless of her past and what happened in her past, she's not about to orphan 2 kids.
Like, that's the big thing that bothered me about this most of all. There's no stakes here. Like, we don't, as an audience, think that this is going to happen. There's never a moment in this scene where we think 11 might actually do this.
Right.
Like, we know the character. We know what would be pushing her too far to redeem her. Like, I would say even a casual viewer watched this scene and never expected her to actually kill this dude.
Right.
So what's the point?
Right. Just to enforce what we already know.
Right.
Like,
and like that. After that, they get back to the hideout and she's like, I was once like you. Does that excuse his sins? The worst writing the show has ever had.
I didn't write that
It's
down.
the worst writing the show has ever had. 90% of Callie's lines are just absolute trash tier writing. Oh, yeah. Also, my next note was that 8 is a fucking cult leader. Because she is. She's essentially building her own little cult.
Yeah.
Which, again, is there a place for that in Stranger Things? Like, no. I mean, I guess if you want to get into, like, the cult of Vecna, sure. I'm sure that would actually be pretty cool to do in next season or something if he's... But, like, not in this way. Not done in this way.
No. I don't know what this has to do with anything. I'm referring to my notes. Because I wrote a note down, and I don't know if it's just a general note or if it's in regards to something happening.
No, I think we touched on this. You're saying that it makes no sense to season 4's flashbacks. You're right. It makes no sense because...
Well, I don't know. I mean, Callie tells the opposite of what Henry says in the flashbacks.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what you mean.
I don't know what I mean there. Oops. It probably wasn't important because this whole episode's not important.
Yeah. we already know this entire episode's been retconned. It doesn't matter. The episode was trying to speed run an entire season of a different show.
But in this episode, 11 does, through the little mindscape, find Hopper and Mike as they find out about Will's trap. That becomes her new priority, and that's when she's like, peace, guys. I don't care. And Callie tries to get her to stay. Like, well, they don't care about you. And she's like, I don't care. They care. I care about them. Like,
yeah.
And that's more important to 11 at this point. It doesn't matter.
Best line of the episode.
Right. It doesn't matter to her if these people don't care about her. She cares about them. And that is the biggest takeaway, I feel like, for her character.
Yeah.
In this episode. I care about people. I'm not about seeking revenge or anything like that. Like, I care about people. I want to help people.
Just gonna throw this out there. The fact that there's that big moment, that big revelation. I know I've said before that it bothers me in season 4 that she's like, am I a monster? Like, again, going through that.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this is a scene that solidifies that 11 doesn't see herself as a monster. So why did we backtrack to that?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know.
Oh, because she broke a girl's nose who was being a huge douche?
I think part of that, though...
And Mike reacted badly.
I was just going to say, I think...
Girl, get you better.
I think that's the main reason why...
Yeah.
She goes back to feeling that way. Because Mike reacted the way that he did.
What did you do? Remember when she broke your bully's arm and made him piss himself?
Right, and you were cool with it?
Yeah, you didn't care.
Like, I feel like if he reacted differently, she would have reacted differently. Because she very much...
She internalizes everything he says.
Everything he says means something to her. So, by him being that way, she was like, well, if Mike thinks I'm a monster, then I must be a monster.
Stupid. Anyway.
All this episode does is reinforce that 11 is a hero, and we already knew that.
Yeah. So, redeeming qualities of this episode, very few. When we see, like, the extent of 8's power, where she can create a wall from the ground up in people's minds,
cool.
Incredibly cool.
Yeah.
It's used once in the entire episode, and, like, yeah, she does some other stuff, but none of it's that visually interesting.
Well, she does make Brenner appear, too.
Yeah, and that's an incredibly messed up thing to do with a kid who has trauma.
Super messed up.
Like, that's not just manipulative, that's abusive.
Right, especially because she supposedly has similar trauma.
Right.
With that same person.
That's insane.
With that same person.
It's insane that she would do that to 11 and still think like, oh, I'm the good guy. I'm trying to get her over to my side.
I'm going to help you.
This is going to work. This is going to make her want to work with me. I'm going to show her abusive, quote unquote, father.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. I mean, 8's power would be good for fighting 1. Tricking him into seeing things that aren't there is a very good idea for that particular bad guy.
It would be very cool.
They're
gonna need to do a lot.
No,
like
I honestly,
care.
Honestly, I don't want it. I don't care how cool it would be. I don't care how well it would work. I don't want it. I don't want the character back. It was bad from the beginning.
Yeah,
it has 0 redeeming qualities, and this episode was actually worse than I remembered it. Going back and watching the entire show actually made this worse.
Right. Well, because we
watched it twice,
and I think why is, like I said in the beginning, because it completely takes you out of what is going on. There's the episode that is before this, the stakes are so high. It leaves you at this, like, high, intense moment. The tension is high. Everything is high. It's like shit's about to hit the fan.
We're talking Argyle levels of high.
Yeah. It's about to go down, and then bloop. What?
And then here's a backdoor pilot for a show that won't be made because nobody likes it.
Right, like, and if you had to have this be an episode, did it have to be placed where it was placed? You know what I mean? Like, why would you do that?
I mean, technically yes. But also, no, they could have, if it had to be a standalone episode the way that they did it, yes, it had to be right there. But it didn't need to be a standalone episode.
No, like we said, it could have been cut within, 1 or 2 episodes.
Absolutely. No doubt.
Because I feel like if it was done that, then you could have gotten a little bit more backstory about these characters. You could have delved into it a little bit
Not that I would have wanted them to.
Not that I necessarily would have wanted it to, but it might have made it more redeeming.
More palatable, at least.
Right. At least made 8 more palatable.
Yeah. But I guess they just figured...
Because to me, she's just a bratty teenager who doesn't get what she wants, so this is what I have to do.
Yeah.
I don't know. She just rubbed me the wrong way.
So instead, we get, I guess they must have thought that they couldn't pace it properly. You know what I mean?
Within other episodes?
Yeah, because it really does. It slows everything down to a crawl.
Mm-hmm.
And if this were in other episodes, it probably would have done that to those episodes. It might have actually made the entire season worse.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But a lot of people don't like this season solely because of this episode.
And that's fair. That's a fair argument. I get it.
Well, we'll see how, if we have to, when we watch the next couple, do we have to get that pacing built back up to get to where we were before it kind of fell off the cliff into this? You know what I mean? So
here's the thing, and we'll confirm this after we watch the next episode, but I'm pretty sure we could have just skipped this one altogether and it would have been better. I don't think the pacing would have slowed down. I think it would have just kept the same momentum.
Better. Right, but that's what I mean. Will this put the next couple, will it give us a halt when we go to watch the next one? Will we have to
that's what I'm saying. I don't think we will, because I think if you remove this, then it doesn't matter. Mm. We haven't started watching yet, so I don't know. I'm just saying that's what I think it's gonna feel like.
But we did watch it.
What?
We did watch it.
But we did watch it, and I wish we didn't. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say about this episode. No, it's bad.
Me either.
It has no bearing on the entire show. If they bring these characters back, they better do a really good job figuring out how to do that. They listen to fans. We know that. We straight up know that, because they're just teasing everybody about Eddie coming back. And they wouldn't be doing that if they didn't listen to the fans wanting him back. So if fans are out there really pushing to get 8 in the mix for the final season, who knows? The Duffers love to just do stuff we tell them to do. So let's see what happens.
I don't know that they would listen.
I don't know.
To this.
They seem very much about quote unquote pleasing their audience, even if they don't really take into account what that means.
I don't think there's enough people to saying, "Oh yeah, bring her back," to warrant them bringing her back.
I hope not.
That's what I mean. It's more of a whisper, whereas the Eddie thing is more like a
scream,
blood curdling scream to the Duffers, and that's just me.
That's All right, well, I'm done talking about this episode.
Okay. On that note, I'm Devin Grubb.
I'm Zach Grubb.
Dusty Buns gets it done.
But not in this episode.
I was going to say that, but he wasn't even there. He wasn't even there. He was getting it done over in Hawkins.